Oh, okay.
Now we're live.
I'm getting excited.
Yeah.
It's gonna be weird. The stream's gonna hear just that part and be like, what?
I know, right? It's gonna be incredibly awkward.
Oh, and there goes your phone.
That was my phone, yes. I had to call a different game store. Uh-oh.
It's gonna be weird. The stream's gonna hear just that part and be like, what?
I know, right?
Whoa.
You've got your echo going. Alright, let me turn you down. Alright, you should be good now.
I hope so.
Right? Alright. Let's see here. I think we should be good. Unless you got anything.
I got nothing.
I mean, I have to apologize for the goofy looking timer. We had the website that we normally use for our timer fell victim to a DDoS attack, or DDoS attack. And their timer's not going to function very well for us today.
They should get on that and get it fixed.
I agree. But I'm ready to do this if you're ready to do this.
Let's do this.
Might help if I correctly set the images. I don't think we've talked about everything just yet. Do you need to take a moment and go through the images, have a good laugh?
Yeah, I guess I should. They're grayed out.
Yeah, I just said I'm fixing it.
Oh, okay.
Jeez.
Wait, is that Jar Jar being punched in the face?
It is.
That's awesome. What's the last one? Oh, okay.
Yeah, the screen's gonna do something funny for just a minute.
Yeah, it just faded out.
Yeah. Gosh darn it. Alright, it's gonna disappear and come back again, but it's gonna take a minute, so. Alright. Almost ready. Any day now. Programs will work. Alright, there you go. Alright, I'm ready to get the show on the road if you are. The delay's just catching up with us, I think.
Yeah, my screen is still black, but we can move on.
But we're still here. There's the screen.
There it goes.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got a kangaroo with a lightsaber. That's cool. Okay. I like the Jar Jar being punched in the face.
I'm glad. I thought you would like the lightsaber kangaroo more, but
Yeah, no, the kangaroo and the lightsaber is pretty nice. So,
right.
First topic.
First topic. This one's all you.
Okay. It's all me.
It's
Look
all
at
you.
that.
You couldn't wait to talk about it.
I wouldn't go that far, but I felt we should talk about it. So, first topic, Australian Nationals. This
Yep.
will be. This is going to be what, the last event till
This
Gen
is
10?
our. Well, this is did you say nationals or regionals?
Nationals.
Okay, for some reason I heard regionals.
I may have said regionals, but I thought I said nationals.
You probably said the correct thing. All right, so yeah, this is the last event. We think there might be some other foreign nationals out there. I'm not sure, but pretty sure
Wait.
this is the last before U.S. nationals.
Yeah. So Blink Kite won the event.
Yes.
19 people
Yep.
showed up for this lovely event in wonderful Australia. Aren't they in the middle of winter right now, though? Or
I heard he was playing for the light
Oh.
side. Snow speeders.
Yeah.
Is that true?
No.
No, that's not true.
Not even close.
Not even close. That's a shame.
No, he was playing Force Lock.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So Gamer Run, Yoda, Luke, Kyle, all times 2 with Falcon and Obi-Wan as one-ups. So he went no Guardians. more or less. I guess that was his slight change.
That's cool.
The deck went at least 5-0-1 throughout the event. So that's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive.
I mean, he just had one game go to time, I guess.
Yep.
And then I'm not sure what he played in the finals because he didn't say.
Oh, okay.
So that's why I said it went at least 5-0-1. He could have played light side in the finals. I don't know if he played that or the dark side. But his dark side went 5-0, and that was ×2 of Saris, Jarek, Emperor, Vader, and Mara.
I was pretty surprised by that. I'm on record multiple times over as not being a big fan of Jarek.
Come on, you dubbed him Baby Vader. You were all excited about him at the
I
get-go.
like him. I don't like anything else in the set.
Yeah, I mean, I like Echoes,
Eh.
and I like him. Force Storm, if I've got like a Holocron or something to make it cost 1. But other than that, I think I would just rather use a Holocron on an Emperor or something.
Yeah.
But it is, I mean, it's an interesting deck because, yeah, he's got Jarek in it. I like the rest of it. It's just Jarek is odd to me. I know you're not a big fan of Mara right now.
I mean, I've played her quite a bit in tournaments. I don't dislike her, I guess, but I'm just her.
You're not
set's
excited about the set as much as you.
Yeah,
were.
no, it's just awkward to me. Like, one, I consider myself a pretty good player. I cannot play Rage correctly if my life depended on it.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah, like, something about that card just mind tricks me like nothing else out there. And I mess it up all the time. I don't like the Sith Library in her set. I don't like that she doesn't have a fake card. And it's not that I don't like it. You know, I think she's awesome, and I like her saber, but
I
like the Protect guy too.
Yeah, I like quite a few things in her set. It's just, if you play her set with Palpatine and Council, you just got Sith Library overload.
But yeah, if you watch when Team Covenant puts up the video of the top 8 from Missouri, I almost lose my top 8 match because of Rage. It's pretty awesome. Like, just my inability to do math and play Rage correctly is just embarrassing.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think the big deal here though was that this event was held with the new scoring system.
It was.
And I think that's pretty cool that they did that, especially on crazy short notice.
Yeah.
But I mean, from everything I heard, I was trying to get the top 4 deck list, but from everything I heard, the players were mostly happy with the format, but it was exactly like we predicted, that the higher seed player just chooses light side all the way down,
Yeah, he had to play dark side once.
Yeah.
He could have played it in the finals, but he did play it in round 3 of the top 8, and I guess he narrowly won it by the calculus that is the tiebreaker points.
Yeah, don't get me started on that.
Yeah, but I was trying to read it, and I haven't really wrapped my mind around the tiebreaker points yet. I guess I probably should do that soon. But yeah, I would have liked to have known when he played in the finals, though.
Well, that's the timer. I guess we got to move on.
Yes. More exciting topics.
No, it's not that wasn't exciting. I don't mean to sound bland on it. It'll be kind of nice to not just cover tournaments every week. I think that's a lot of good stuff to cover. I think it's really interesting. But yeah, it sounds like I feel like we repeat ourselves a little bit on it.
So next topic.
All right.
Winter Tournament Kit, otherwise known as Slave Leia Goodness.
Yeah, these things look awful.
What?
That was sarcastic.
Yeah, I'm just gonna come over there and slap some sense into you. No, this was big news. That was actually FFG released this information last week during our cast.
Yes,
and we decided to hold off on it to give us a little something to talk about this week.
Right.
And I'm still in awe of this art in this set, or this kit. I think you were we were talking that it's probably the best one other than regionals from last year.
That's probably a different discussion, but I think this is definitely the best league kit they've done.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt on that one.
I mean, the acrylic tokens were really cool. Obviously, I'm a bit of a fan, but yeah.
I think somebody, I think it was Zach. Zach Bunn posted that this is a tournament kit, and then everything we got at this is better than everything we're going to get at Nationals.
I believe the direct quote was something a bit more similar to, "It's pretty bad when the tournament kit is better than anything else at Nationals," or something like that.
Yeah. Now, if Slave Leia would have been the promo for Nationals, yeah. But to be fair, I do like the Yoda. It's just weird that it's that Yoda, but yeah.
Yeah, like I think that's a good point. I think if it was, even though the art's a little interesting, I think if it had been the other Yoda, I think people would have a different take on it personally.
Yeah, if he was the new Yoda, everybody would be like, "Wow, awesome."
Yeah, but, just happy to have alternate art for it. But yeah. So if people don't know, we should probably tell them what all's in here.
Yeah, go ahead.
You get it's the Dengar. His objective, I'm blanking on what it is now. It's basically the no disintegrations kind of image or whatever. As a playmat, you get 2 alternate art Leia from Core, and she is kind of slave outfit choking Jabba. Then you get, I think it's 17 alternate art Royal Guards from the Emperor's Web. And then you get 4 deck boxes that all have the same art. It is Zuckuss from the payout card.
Yep. It's pretty sweet deck box.
I know you love the art. I know you're excited about the playability of the cards. My most exciting thing is that there's 4 of the same art deck boxes. I cannot thank FFG enough for listening to players and understanding that, if you want to give us deck boxes, give us something that we can easily dish out to people,
Yeah.
I think that was a great move on their part. Absolutely thrilled with that. And
Yeah.
I hope they keep it going forward. I think the 4 deck boxes for top 4 is really cool.
I'm most excited for the Royal Guard and the playmat.
It's fun. Is this it's now Emperor will have 2 alternate art cards.
Yeah.
Vader has 2 Force Choke and Vader. Luke has 2 Luke and the Saber.
Yep.
And I don't know if there's anybody else out there with 2.
No, I don't think so, because the other ones, you've got Boba, C-3PO,
Yeah.
Tarkin, Rogue 3. So, yeah, I don't think so.
So, I mean, that's pretty cool that, now kind of the 2 of the main most played dark side sets have multiple alternate art cards, which is cool.
I like the art. Like, I don't usually play a lot of the promo cards, but I like the art on this Royal Guard enough that I'm going to swap him out. Because I like the Force Lightning. I don't really like that art.
Yeah, I mean, I play it, but I agree with you. I'm not a fan of it.
I like the original Force Lightning art better.
Yeah.
But if I played Leia, I would definitely play this Leia.
I mean, I think that's kind of crucial. I think both these cards are pretty playable. I mean, I definitely see Leia pop up from time to time, and Royal Guards in like almost every deck out there. So. Yeah,
and this is probably my granted it's Slave Leia. Everybody's gonna love it, but this is probably my second favorite art in the game because I love the Mara Jade from Balance.
Oh, cool.
Actually, no, this is probably my third because I like the Han. I like Mara Han in this one.
Yeah.
I just love that she's choking Jabba. Like we were talking before the cast started, that I felt like this should have been a, like the Han and Lando cards are, opposite sides of the art. You put them together and you get like the big picture of it. Yeah. Like I felt like this Jabba and this Leia should have been the same way. Like this should have been the promo Jabba from regional season.
Well, I mean, I think even it makes you wish Tarkin was more playable and Rogue 3 saw more play because the art's Like they're really, really upping their alternate art cards, I
I
think.
don't know what you're talking about. I'm playing Tarkin at Gen Con.
Well, I didn't want to give anything away, sir.
I'm going to show that he is playable.
Topic
Probably not.
number 3.
Navy spoilers.
Oh, there was some Navy spoilers that popped up over the weekend.
There were.
I'm just gonna be the negative guy and just go from the beginning. I didn't like him at all.
Yeah, and that seemed to be the general consensus from everybody. And it was due in part because they don't have any Force icons.
I think that's the big thing. I actually,
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to assume people have seen him because we don't want to run down every card.
Right.
Um,
I mean, we can probably skip over the objective because that's probably the least offensive of all the cards. Right.
like I feel like the objective kind of gives you like a reason to want to play the set,
Right.
and then it just goes downhill.
Right. Like the escort carrier, I like it a lot. My only complaint about it is that it's 2 health. But I mean, you can get you can just let it sit back there and not do anything, and it can just keep bringing back stuff from the discard or
Yeah. But then you get 2 really bad ties.
Are they really bad though? Because they're just like the TIE Fighter from Core Set. I mean, those are bad too, but at least this thing has an ability, whereas those are just, eh.
Yeah.
Like this, if you win the edge battle, you get to remove a shield, which may or may not be crucial in the destruction of an objective.
Nah, I'm not a fan.
I mean, it's a very narrow, very narrow card and its usefulness.
I mean, I dig the enhancement. Like any enhancement that can turn like a bad unit good or can turn a good unit great, I'm a fan of.
Yeah.
Like Jedi Lightsaber. I mean, that card can win games. I mean,
Yeah.
it can give you exactly what you need. And this card, because it's free, right? It doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, it's a 0 cost enhancement.
Yeah.
The only thing is it can only go on a fighter.
Right, but that's okay because we have to
But there's-
assume over the course of the game we're going to get fighters.
Right. We still have TIE Tac Squadron,
Right.
so
I think
giving
that-
that thing Edge 2 would be pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's just with this game, like, edge battles can really define the course of the game,
Right.
and it just seems not good to put yourself in a position where if you don't have a certain enhancement, your deck is tremendously worse.
I mean, there's 2 of them in this set. So I mean, if you're playing, you can play this as a one of, and you should, see it occasionally. I guess. I mean, I don't know what the odds are of that, but
I mean, I think that all the cards probably should have just had 1 Force icon.
yeah,
But honestly, even then, I'm still not going to play this set, most likely.
I think if the capital ship had 3 health, and everything had 1 Force icon, it'd probably be seen in a different light.
To me, honestly, though, the big offense here is that, like, Navy got shafted hard
Yeah.
in Echoes of the Force cycle.
But the flip side is that we know what the next cycle is about. Like they've already previewed the cycle, the
Yeah.
start of it at least.
Yeah.
We know that it's heavily vehicle based,
Right.
and we've seen Baron Fell set. He's got 2 pretty good TIE fighters in it, TIE fighters in it. So maybe there's something that this set becomes less of a problem with no Force icons.
Yeah, I was meaning just in general, if you look at the whole cycle, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that was, like, impressive.
Well,
That
when
Navy
we
reset.
got Dark Trooper Project, we were all pretty excited about that. But that lasted for
We were excited about the resource, for sure.
in the objective.
Now, I think... I don't know. The objective's fine.
The excitement for that set lasted until the second Force Pack dropped, and then it
Right,
was just...
but even then, compare that set, which we probably are saying is, like, the best set that Navy got, compare it to, like, the worst set that Lightside got. Or compare it to, like...
Green Squadron deployment.
No.
Well, no,
I
I
would
guess
say Leia, but
yeah, no, I disagree with that. But yeah,
But I mean, it's nothing compared to them. Like
right.
it's still not anywhere as good. I mean, heck, Liberty is a 5-4 with 4 icons.
Yeah,
Anyway, that was the timer. That's just my rant. Like I'm sad that like Navy still doesn't have great ways to take the Force. Navy still doesn't have their only set that has Twist of Fate is TIE Attack Squadron.
yeah.
It's I know people get bummed about Rebel, but I honestly, or Scum, I honestly think that like if Navy didn't have like Devastator or Death Squadrons, like I think everybody would be saying the same stuff about Navy that they say about Scum.
Yeah, but nobody's really saying that about Scum anymore.
Not anymore because they started getting better things.
Right.
Navy, from what we've seen, still doesn't have good things on the horizon.
Yeah, but
I mean,
8 months ago, or let's see, even though we're in August, so 10 months ago, Navy was playable because Tyler Stratton took the SoCal Navy deck to the top 16 and did fairly well with it.
Wait,
the whole
what?
team did fairly well.
Hold on, wait, what are you talking about?
I'm saying, like, Navy was playable 10 months ago, and up until probably Echoes.
But it wasn't.
Really,
it was always more of a support. What they did at Worlds was, try to rush and beat out what the other side was trying to do, which is fine.
they were just getting the clock to 6, and then they were putting damage here and there. And once it got to 6, they knew they could win the game because everything
that's still
collapsed.
my point. Like, if Devastator and Death Squadrons weren't a thing,
Yeah.
everybody would have been complaining about Navy just as much as Scum.
I mean, it's just like cyclical. Navy's just kind of falling off. Scum's picking up. So I don't know.
I think it's power creep. I think Navy got left behind. That's the point I'm trying to make. They're not nearly as powerful as everything else is now.
I can agree to that.
Next topic.
Next topic. Which events do we want to see reprinted? I've got a long list.
Oh man, do you really? I've got like 2.
Really? Oh,
Yeah. What do you want to see reprinted?
Oh, man.
Let's hear them.
All right. I want to see Captured reprinted.
Really?
I
Interesting.
want to see Reversal of Fate reprinted.
No.
I want to see Sonic Detonation reprinted.
Well.
I want to see Join Me reprinted. I want to see Force Shockwave reprinted. A Disturbance in the Force. Dark Precog. Tear This Ship Apart. And I went deep on this one. I went into the challenge deck for this one. I want Signal Jam as a real card.
This is the most preposterous list I've ever heard.
No!
This is preposterous.
You're preposterous.
You left off Force Chokes, Force Lightning.
Dude, I do not want to see Force Choke reprinted.
Really? Interesting.
No.
I want to see
That should-
Force Chokes that does 2 damage.
Oh my god, you are absurd.
That's what I want.
You are
Skull
absurd.
Leader in the chat says, "Join me for unique characters." I agree.
Yeah, I could. But this was like something
These
we
aren't
want to
reprints,
see
yeah.
reprinted, not something we want to see.
I mean, I assume Rebel Salt's got to be high up on the list because it got stuck in Mobilize, which wasn't great.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't even put that one on my list.
That's because your list is preposterous.
You're preposterous, good sir.
No Bamboozled,
I don't think that card should be reprinted.
no Rage.
No Rage. No, see, those are just my dark side. I've got 10 more for light side.
Well, let's hear them. Why'd you stop?
Well, because I wanted to stop so we could talk about the dark side. But now we can go on to the light side.
Why do you want to see Captured reprinted?
Because, I mean, these were just cards that I thought, like, I find interesting. Like, I like Captured, not as a competitive card necessarily.
I'm like visualizing you sitting at your office, like daydreaming out the window, looking at clouds and going, Captured would be better if it was in something else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same with Reversal of Fate. I love that card. It's just in Jabba's set.
Yeah. What do you got for light side? Let's hear it.
All right. You're my only hope.
Thank you.
Adaptive Strategy. Because I love that card.
Which one's that? I don't even
That's
know.
from Crix Maydeens.
Oh,
When
yeah,
a fake
yeah.
card,
Okay, that
you
one's
can,
pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that
And
doesn't
then
need to be reprinted though. Like just people need to play Crix more.
no. I want that in another set so I can play Seeds of Decay and just be like adaptive strategy, and just focus down their board and giggle. All right, so I looked into the challenge deck for 2 light side cards, and I would love to see Premonitions of the Future, which that's the one you look at top 3 and you get to take one, and then the other 2 get shuffled back.
Yeah.
And then Run, Luke, Run, which is basically a light side signal jam. It's just an interrupt that cancels an action, reaction, or interrupt. And then
Kennedy Hawk writes, Seeds of Decay is in Crix's set, isn't it? It is. TGO is just wanting to live some ridiculous dream of having 4 seeds and 4 whatever that card is called.
I can live in Magical Christmas Land all I want.
Oh, for sure.
And don't tell me otherwise. All right,
Yeah.
so the rest of my list.
Yeah.
Coordinated Strike, Counterstroke, Double Strike, Force Rejuvenation, Lightsaber Deflection, and Return of the Jedi.
I was gonna ask if Return of the Jedi made the list. I'm surprised you want to see. I don't think Deflection should be reprinted at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
I
to
think it
me, I mean, I'm surprised. Like, Let the Wookiee Win didn't make your list.
No, because I thought I looked at all the smuggler events, and I just had to shake my head and be like, a lot of these are they're either really bad, or they're just like so good that they should not ever be reprinted.
So
And
like, you
that's
don't
like,
want another holding all the cards.
No.
But you,
I mean-
you rattled off like 100 different events that you want, and you didn't even come close to my number one.
It's my list. I can have whatever I want on it.
Number one reprint should be a price on their heads.
I had that on my list.
What? What happened to
But,
it? It's so
but
good.
I took it off.
Why? To make
because-
room for 50 others? I mean, the
No,
list is pretty long.
I took it off because I'm like, gosh darn it, that thing is a multiplayer card. Even though you've burned me with it a couple of times, honest to God, that was on my list, and I now regret taking that off. I do like that card.
All right. Well,
What did you have on your list, real
I
quick?
had 3. I think it was Rebel Salt, Let the Wookiee Win, and Price on their head.
So you just want a bunch of broken stuff reprinted? Nah, I shouldn't say broken.
No, like, gosh darn it, this thing is frustrating. Like for me, the concept of like reprinting them isn't like, oh, there's a bunch of cards that weren't played because they were in bad event. To me, it was more of like, I want to see more of this stuff, you know? Like, I want
would
more
love-
ways to play this.
I would love to have a deck with 8 force chokes.
Really?
You know? Yeah.
If
why
they
not?
start doing 2 damage and you can do Vader's reaction so you can kill things with 3 health, that'd be great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if they want to make a super force choke,
Yeah.
I don't
All
see
right.
that ever happening.
Next topic.
This one's all you.
I don't
You
even
can
know what it
introduce
is.
Oh, come on.
Something about resources.
Okay. Jeez.
Hold
get
on,
with
I
the
got it.
cool
I got it. How many resources should there be in a deck? 7.3.
See, I came up with 6.5.
Yeah.
Your math is somehow wrong.
I think it's interesting. We've discussed it before.
Yeah.
You know, Lightside used to get by with like 4. Or 5, you know. And I've seen, if you look at like Devastating Sith from like over a year ago, it was like 9, I think. And like 9 seems absurd to me now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't have the number in front of me of like how many there needs to be in a 50 card deck to guarantee that you see one when you draw 6. I don't have that. Oh, Darth BS just says he wants to see an event called Flip the Force. It costs 3, and you flip the balance of the Force. That would be incredible. If I win Worlds, that's gonna happen. And it'll be made for both sides.
That would be a first.
Was that?
That would be a first.
Yeah.
At least for events.
No, I think like you have to have a good balance. You know, you don't want an absurd amount because you'll see them too often.
Yeah.
And to me, you don't want an absurd amount of like the
Sith libraries,
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that.
exactly.
The Zero Force
We need to
icon
come
ones.
up with a clever name for the one drop resources.
How about one drop resources?
No, that's not a. That's like a title. I want a name. But yeah, I don't know. Like it's interesting to think about. It certainly feels like the higher the better currently. But that
I,
might be because more decks are like the games are taking more turns instead of like bam, 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 and then done. Move on to the next game.
yeah. I feel like as the dark side, you probably like eight on the board. I'm not saying like eight in your deck. I'm saying if you have eight resources available to you, turn after turn, I think that's pretty good. Because we were playing last night, and I did notice that the more resources I had, I was able to play a unit and one of my, costlier events, more expensive events. So
Yeah.
I felt that was beneficial.
Yeah.
As far as like a specific number, I mean, yeah, I definitely don't want a bunch of Sith libraries or Dagobah training grounds in my deck because those are just really bad for edge. But
It's funny though. Like I love a bunch of Dagobah training grounds if I'm playing And You Must Go.
well, yeah, because then they're free. But I mean, if you get a hand, I've,
Right.
I've had hands where I've had like three of those suckers in my hand. And I'm just like, well, I'm not winning an edge battle anytime soon.
Well, yeah, for
You
sure.
gotta, at that point, you have to pitch them or you hold on to them and play them. In which case, then you're just making your edge hand.
I
pathetic.
think if you're playing Dark Side, I think 4 or 5 with like 2 Sith holocrons is fine. I think if you're playing Light Side, probably 6, 7, somewhere around there.
And I
I don't-
I think a point should be made that if they're the zero icon ones, you probably don't want a whole lot of them. But if you've got a bunch of them and they're like ones, or in the case of the ones in the Falcon, the Cloud City guest quarters,
Yeah,
I never mind drawing those because I know I've got a good an edge card.
right.
If I've got if I've already got a bunch of resources on the table, so I'm never disappointed to see the ones or the twos. When
I mean,
I've
it's
got a lot
definitely a
of
balancing
resources.
act, you know? Like when
Yeah.
you build decks, like you've got to it's amazing how different your game can be when you have like more than 5 resources.
Yeah.
Of course, if you're playing like Light Side and you've got the Falcon, like you really only need 5 resources.
I mean, it would be nice to have 7 because then you've got Falcon and Bamboozle.
Yeah.
But that's just a win more situation at that point.
Yeah, most likely. But yeah, I think it's situational. But I think you've got to be, very mindful of putting in too many and putting in too few. I think if you're somewhere there in the middle, like around 6 or 7, I think you're in a good place.
Yeah, if you're packing in a bunch of the ones with control room and stuff like that, you might want to reevaluate things.
Yeah,
Is that our timer going on?
it is. All right. Next topic.
All you, sir.
I just looked at this. There are only 32 seats still available for Gen Con.
Yep. Yeah, I didn't bother to look at that today.
I'm bummed by that. Like that definitely bums me out a little.
I thought it went down into the 20s last week. I thought
It was down to like 37 or 33, but
Okay.
I mean it's good for the players. In all honesty, because the split right now it should be 64 to 128 players is going to be 6 rounds. So if you're closer to 64, you're better off.
Better off how?
Well, you'll have an easier chance of making top 16.
Okay.
Simply, like the number of points required is lower.
Right. The
So
theoretical cut, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So I mean, if you just think about the way that the rounds fall, ideally you want to be at like 65 because you've earned that whole extra round, but you have fewer players to play in it.
Well, we've got more than 65 people.
Right. We're I mean, it's what, a 60 some gap between 65 and 128,
Yeah.
and we have 32 seats open. So player-wise, people that are playing in the tournament should be perfectly fine with the fact that we have 30-some seats still open.
I mean, it's 75. Was it like 75% capacity right now?
Yeah. Like, my point is, the closer you get to 128, the worse odds you have of top 16.
Yeah.
So for people competing in it, having 30 spots open is good. Having said all that, since you can still show up that day and buy a ticket and play, it most likely is going to cross the 100 mark without problems, and we'll probably get about the same as last year. I think last year they had the full like 110 or 115, but a bunch of people didn't show up, so I think we really only had like 101 or 102.
Yeah, people just showed up to get the promo, and then they were gone.
There was that problem at Worlds too.
Yeah,
but
they didn't get the second one.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm a bit bummed about attendance, but we were going to chatter about first time tips, like people that have this is going to be their first Gen Con, but we didn't have a whole lot of tips because it's pretty straightforward.
Well, some people might not be aware, but like the lines to get your event tickets or your badges can be super long.
Yeah, I would recommend picking up Wednesday if possible.
Yeah. It's usually a good idea to pre-register and just let them mail them to you.
Yeah.
Unless you're forgetful like some people.
Right.
But I had mine mailed to me, so I don't have to wait in any lines. I get a press badge. I go into the press room and get my badge. Right. I'm in and out usually in 10, 15 minutes. People are probably going to want to get there at 8 o'clock to fight their way through that line. If they go Thursday morning.
Thursday, yeah.
Yeah. If they go Wednesday, they're still going to wait in a long line, but it doesn't matter because they got, don't really have anything to do anyway.
Kennedy Hawk says, if you got your badges in the mail, do you have to sit in a line? You do have to go up and turn in your ticket to FFG to let them know you're there. But last year,
the event
that line
ticket?
only... What's that?
You're talking about the event ticket.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about his badge, though.
No, I'm just letting him know that's the only line you're going to have to mess with.
Yeah.
All
he's got to do is just put the little lanyard on his badge, wrap it around his neck, and away he goes.
Other tips that I would throw out there is I would wear jeans, and for shirts I would come in like removable layers. Like I would definitely probably wear like a hoodie and a t-shirt.
I usually just roll with the t-shirt.
Yeah, I mean everybody's different, Like some people just roll really hot, some people roll really cold. I think jeans is super safe though.
Yeah. Comfortable shoes because you're going to do a lot of walking.
Right.
I made the mistake of wearing flip-flops last year, and my feet were killing me at the end of the day.
Waydat or Chini says, why jeans? I shouldn't have said jeans, I guess. I should have said, like, long pants.
They have the AC on full blast.
Yeah. Basically, at these kind of things, you don't want a bunch of sweaty dudes. So they crank up the AC as high as possible. So instead of everybody being smelly, everybody freezes.
Yeah.
And that's much better than everybody being smelly. But if you're wearing like shorts, sandals, and a t-shirt or something, you're going to be really cold. So that's why I recommend removable layers, at least for the upper part of your body.
So everybody that is from the south will be wearing jeans, t-shirt, and hoodies, and everybody from the north that is used to the cold will be in shorts and a t-shirt.
And then the other thing I would definitely they've got they sell drinks and stuff there, and I didn't think the like waters and sodas were too overpriced. Food was a bit high, so if you have like some snacks or something, I would definitely recommend snacks.
And they've always got food trucks across the street too.
Smokey recommends pants with zip-off legs. But then the other big thing I would throw out to first-time attendees is theft occurs at these things.
Oh yeah.
Like, do not take that for granted. Don't attend with like the need to carry a bunch of different things with the intention to set them on the ground next to you while you play.
Travel light in a backpack or a bag or something that has a strap. I like to wrap it around my leg or around the leg of my chair.
Yeah, my shoulder bag is long enough that I can wrap it around. I can keep it on my shoulder and it'll just dangle by my side, and it doesn't like get in the way or anything like that while I play. But I definitely, like you're saying, I recommend something that has a strap so you can have it touching you, and if it were to move unexpectedly, you'll feel it.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard of people losing deck boxes and to never be seen again. Right?
Soul Leader said I may bring a tauntaun to crawl into.
It doesn't get that cold.
No. Yeah, I've seen people just bring a deck box and a playmat
Yeah.
and like nothing else.
I usually just roll with my backpack. I got all my boxes in there, and then when I sit down, I usually slide my leg through one of the straps
Right.
so nobody can walk off with it. And it's under the table anyway, so it's pretty hard to walk off with anyway.
The safest assumption is just that every stranger steals.
Stranger danger.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's most likely not the case, and you most likely won't get anything stolen there. My point is, don't be naive to the fact that there will be a lot of theft over the course of the weekend at Gen Con.
Yeah.
People are scum, and there's a lot of people, so there's a lot of people to take advantage of. So. But I know we went a little long on that, but I definitely want to. I know there's a lot of people that this is their first big event. So,
No, that was all good stuff though.
do you have anything else you need to throw out there?
Just to bathe regularly while you're attending.
Should we talk about what do they call it, like the con crud, where like everybody ends up getting sick or something?
Oh, I've never gotten sick from Gen Con, but
A
no.
lot of people will get sick because you're there very long. You have a lot of people that are coughing and stuff, and so definitely take care of yourself. Try to get as much sleep as you can. Keep yourself clean. Wash your hands, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, they're calling you a dirty pirate that wants to steal their cards. We just got a Pack 2 announcement? Why do they keep doing during the middle of our cast?
Right? Come on, FFG. Throw us a bone. Do it on Tuesdays. Draw their
They
fire.
just announced the second Force Pack already. That seems excessively fast.
No, the other one was... oh, man.
Yeah, that's an outrider. All right.
That stuff was on my list of what I wanted to see.
Kennedy Hawk is now banned from posting in the chat box.
You rotten no good. No, I'm just kidding. We're all going to get Ebola.
All right. Well, we'll move on. We can cover that actually at the end of this because it'll be a bit hard to cover that next week.
Yeah.
All right.
That'll be our discussion that we weren't going to have, but now we're going to have.
Yep. Topic number 7?
7.
Yeah,
yes,
7.
sir.
Episode 7. We wanted to discuss what material might make an appearance.
This might be controversial for some people because I've heard a lot of people talking like they don't want prequels in, which I can understand, but I'm curious to see how people feel about the possibility of Episode 7 material creeping into our game.
I think, for me, the jarring thing about the prequels is they just don't feel anything like the originals. Mm-hmm. And the fact that they're shooting this on like 35mm film, the fact that like...
That means nothing to me. I don't follow film stuff.
They're trying to stylize it very similar to the originals.
Okay. Well, I can dig that.
Right.
As long as it's high def and I can watch it in 3D.
Better with some of the stuff we already have, I guess. But,
okay.
I mean, it's hard to say, right? Because, I mean, they just spent 6 months jumping like head first into the extended universe. So at some point we have to say we're okay with whatever, I mean, if we can be okay with Lowrick being in play against Tarkin.
Yeah.
I mean, we've got to extend some reservations we have, I guess.
My only concern is that if the timeline is still Rebels and Imperials, and to be honest, I don't know because I don't read anything about it. I don't, I want it to be a surprise when I see the movie outside of the trailers that I see.
Right.
I don't know if it's Rebels and Imperials anymore. Like if it's Rebels versus Imperials still, I am completely fine with it being added to the game. But if all of a sudden like the Imperials are something else, like they become like what, the Imperial Remnant or something like that, And if it would require another affiliation, I'm a little hesitant for that. But I
mean,
am all for new content from this movie coming into our game, just because the potential for new people.
yeah, that's
Right?
exactly what I was gonna say. Like, you have to be realistic and understand that there's gonna be massive marketing campaigns
Right.
the
I am.
closer
I
we
am.
get to episode 7.
I am all for anything that makes this game better and brings new people in. I would never, be upset with FFG if they did something that made the game better and brought new players in.
Like, what's crazy to me is, supposedly Disney's plan is that we get Star Wars Episode 7 next December or November.
I think
Then
it's December.
then the next year we get like a standalone Star Wars. Then the year after that we get Episode 8. Then the year after that we get another standalone. So like, if you're FFG, how can you not just pump out new cycles based on these new things that are coming out I mean, it's going to be so simple and easy to do, right? Like, you get 6 months to release product, and each of those products is going to like go hand in hand with the film that's coming out. I mean, it just seems,
Are you laughing at Smokey's comment?
yeah, it just seems so like simple and easy and would make so much sense.
Yeah.
In this gaming world that we're in with this game, it's not really bound by logistics. Chewie can block the Devastator.
Right.
Vader's tie can be blocked by an Ewok companion thing. I mean, it's to me, it seems like the reason we don't want the prequels is because we didn't like those movies, not because we're worried about how it's going to mess with the universe of Star Wars LCG.
See, I like the prequels, certain things of it, I guess.
Hey, there's nothing wrong. You don't have to be an apologist.
I mean, I like them. I like them because, like, Episode 1 has the pod race, which is one of my favorite things.
Do you know that we literally lost 5 viewers as soon as you said that?
Damn it!
How-
Darn it, I mean. Darn it! No, but, like, I like the prequels. If they added the prequels to the game, I would not, like, quit it on the spot.
Right.
I would still play because I like the prequels.
As long as the mechanics were good.
I want an Aura Sing card. Is that too much to ask? Darn it, I'm too early on that comment. Too early on that one.
So no, I think they should be included. For those wondering, that is I don't know if people saw the picture that had popped up over the weekend, but there was a passenger at an airport that he got bag checked by the TSA or whatever they are, and so did Mark Hamill, and most people apparently just weren't recognizing him at all. Like the staff at the airport didn't recognize him. But that's what he looks like currently, and they're currently in production, so I think he looks pretty awesome. He looks very Obi-Wan.
But he's not Obi-Wan, he's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, but obviously Ben played a major part in his life,
In Luke Skywalker's life, not his. Just saying.
He's looking the part of the role that he's... You're
Is he
crazy.
supposed...
So you think he was just like sporting this because he Mark Hamill wanted to look like Obi-Wan?
Is he supposed to be playing Obi-Wan or something?
He's supposed to be playing a old Jedi. Yes, it takes
Why
place
is
30 years after the last movie with Mark Hamill.
So Luke Skywalker would be in his 50s then?
He would be what?
Well, you're saying this takes place 30 years after...
Yeah, he's supposed to be in like his mid to late 60s.
So that could be Luke Skywalker?
That
If they
is
bring
the-
him back... If they bring him
Wait,
back...
hold
it's-
on.
I'm confused
I
as to
think
what you're
confused.
saying.
I'm not saying that Mark Hamill is supposed to be Obi-Wan. I'm saying Mark Hamill, they've designed Luke Skywalker to look very similar to Obi-Wan.
Ah, I got you. Because I was just about to say, if they bring him back as somebody not Luke Skywalker, I would be so mad.
I'm so... How could you even get that Mark
That-
Hamill was going to
you
be
were-
Obi-Wan?
Oh, because you said he's looking like Obi... I don't know. Let's move on.
Oh, man.
We're done with
People
it. I'm
almost
done
just
with
said,
it.
what is this Star Wars? All right, topic number 8.
Yeah. Characters,
Which
vehicles, and stuff we'd
characters
like
would
to
you like to
see.
punch in the face?
Yeah, Jar Jar Binks.
So this was I interrupted you while you said it was characters and vehicles and other stuff we'd like to see in the game.
Yes.
Things we don't want to see as well. Number 1, I think most people agree, is Jar Jar Binks.
No, I don't think everybody will agree because I'm pretty sure Smokey J.
No, that they don't want to see.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure Smokey would love to see a Jar Jar.
Oh, okay, well that's interesting. I lost a little respect for Smokey.
Oh,
All right, so you've gone on record already in this cast, maybe just about 2 minutes ago. Aura Singh
Yes.
is like number 1 for you.
yes.
Okay.
Love me some Aura Singh.
I would really like to see either Maul or Qui-Gon.
I could get behind that.
Those are 2 characters that are probably the only things I enjoyed from the prequels.
You don't want to see any Anakin Skywalker,
No, not even close.
Padme.
I'd like to see like an old Anakin.
I'd like to see a Mace Windu.
Really?
Yeah. And to be honest, Outrider was on my list up until I saw the Outrider, which
Yeah, but that's extended universe.
they've made my day.
Yeah. I mean that's really it. Like my love of things Star Wars is they've already pretty much hammered out most of the things that I would get really excited by, I guess. I'd like to see a good version of Jabba.
I want to see a version of Jabba being choked by Leia.
Ruining future topics yet again.
How so?
Look at topic number 9.
Darn it!
So
I totally forgot about that one.
There just isn't a lot of like you were gonna say for vehicles, you're gonna say Outrider, which makes sense. I mean it was a pretty big part.
Yeah.
We have to assume with like Rogue Squadron we're gonna get a lot of vehicles that we haven't seen yet. I definitely would like to see like a good version of Red 5. Skull Eater says an elite Jabba. That was pretty much what I was getting at. I'd like to see like a 4 cost, 3 health elite Jabba.
Is Red 5 Luke's ship or is that Wedge's ship?
I'm embarrassed that we're friends right now.
Dude,
you don't know the difference?
I don't know their stupid ships.
Red 2 is Wedge's.
Okay.
Jeez.
Who's Red 3?
Oh, I don't know. That
Oh,
might be-
what? You don't know who Red 3 is? Come on, I'm embarrassed that I'm your friend.
Yeah. I mean, we're getting the improved Boba. I think if that hadn't been spoiled, that would have been like the number 1 thing we would have said, you know?
Old cards that we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I would like to see a Sarlacc. I mean, we got a Rancor. I'd really like to see a Sarlacc.
We kind of did.
No, make it a creature. Make it
You
something
wanted-
that like can't attack.
But you
And,
can like eat stuff to it.
Make it so it can't be like declared as an attacker or defender, but things can like accidentally fall into it.
Accidentally or be pushed.
And then give it text where like you can do something and toss captured units to it or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I would, let's see, what else is there? I want to see a new Emperor.
Yeah, oh my god. Maybe one that costs 3. I would definitely
Yeah.
like to see some high force icon units on the dark side with a low cost.
Yeah.
Dark side is in need of high force icon units.
Trying to think what else I want. I didn't really give this one much thought while I was at work today.
No, I mean it's I would like to see a different version of Executor.
Yeah? Like a Navy version?
Yeah, maybe something like
Or
that.
not, I mean, not necessarily, but I mean, that's kind of like the next... Seems like the next place it could go.
I mean, I would like a new version of Falcon, but I just don't know that one's needed or warranted. You know,
Yeah,
it
when
seems
that
like
one
that's
is-
already been covered pretty well.
Well, that one is so good, why do you need another?
Right.
Uh,
But yeah, I mean that's about it. I'd like to see like a a version of Bausch. I think we saw a picture. We think we're getting something there, and then
Yeah.
I would like to see is it Tamtel Screech? Is that Lando's secret name or bounty hunter name when he's in Jabba's?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I'd like to
Anyway,
see some Mandalorians.
yeah, I just don't know. There's some characters from that Clone Wars cartoon show that I wouldn't mind seeing. I guess there's some interesting guys on that. They were all bad guys, as far as I was
Right.
concerned. The interesting ones, but
Yeah, I mean they kind of portrayed the Mandalorians, or at least the Death Watch, as the bad guys, which they kind of are.
Skull Eater says an Imperial Palpatine. What are your thoughts on that?
An Imperial Palpatine?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the Navy could use an Imperial Palpatine. He's going to bring Force icons, help him with the Force.
Yeah.
You got to assume he'd have tactics like his Sith version. I mean, because the pattern seems to be take the same stats, combat icons, Force icons, move it to a different faction, and then just give it a new ability.
Yeah.
Seems to be the DMO. I would love to see an Imperial Palpatine.
All right. Topic number 9.
Oh yeah, the art we would like to see.
Now I put on there that's some art from Ralph McQuarrie that he did of like all the bounty hunters put together, and so that was my way of saying I'd like to see some more McQuarrie art. We've already gotten plenty of it. I just want more of it 'cause it's so cool.
I believe in my email that I sent to you
Yeah.
this morning that I want to see like an alternate art Super Laser Blast,
Yeah.
but from the perspective of Alderaan, the people on Alderaan. I want to see like the Death, like somebody looking up at a Death Star and the laser coming down to the planet, kind of thing.
I
And
feel
they're
like they
be
could just take a scene from the future sequences of Terminator 2 with like the playgrounds being like obliterated, and
Yeah.
that would make you happy.
No, I want to see the laser coming down and like the blast coming down and hitting the planet. And I want to see like people freaking out. I think that'd be hilarious.
This is the most disturbing art I think you could possibly
Oh no,
on a card.
no, a charred Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru.
But like, I mean, seriously though, you don't want just like the act of millions of people being killed. You want to see the fear in their eyes, like seconds, like milliseconds before their disintegration.
Yeah, you know, that is true.
I love it. Oh, that's so good.
Tell me you wouldn't play Super Laser Blast then? Come on.
I'm just like, I want that guy from a while ago to paint some really cool looking art that he did like before, and we can use some more of it. And you're like, I want to see people die. I want to see the fear. I love it. It's so good.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
I agree with you. I mean, Skull Leader says it might be a bit morbid.
To each their own, you know.
I'd like to see, like, I feel like sometimes the art is, and I don't mean this super negative, but I feel like sometimes it's a bit claustrophobic. Like, there's very little happening on, like, the space that's there. I'd like to see a bit more, like, battle stuff going on.
I just thought of another one. I want to see, and this would be another Han Lando, like, dual picture card. I want to see a Lando with the Sarlacc wrapped around his leg, reaching up to Han's hand, and then I want to see another one of Han reaching down with his hand and his blaster shooting at the Sarlacc. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that being neat.
Or even a Boba Fett falling into the Sarlacc. There was one more. Oh, yeah. Jabba being choked.
Yeah.
I'd love to see that one.
You've given us some great insight to the way your mind works.
Really?
Well, I mean, these are some pretty, like, the art that you want on the cards is very, I mean, morbid's a pretty good word for it.
I just think it's funny.
Yeah. But your comedy elements involve, like, people either dying or almost dying.
Well, you know, it happens.
Yeah. We got Waydat says he'd like to see some Han shooting Greedo. Which he says we kind of have that already, but he'd like to see, like, Greedo, like, the aftermath.
3 holes in his chest or whatever it was.
It was one shot, wasn't it?
I don't
I don't
remember.
know.
I haven't seen the movie in a while.
Yeah. No, I want more like battle exposition type things. Like I want to see, like I thought the art that we got on Rogue 3, the alternate art, was like really cool because it kind of showcased action.
Yeah.
And it seems like a lot of times with the art that we've had thus far, the action is very like claustrophobic. Like blaster deflection comes to mind, where it's you just see the saber, the dude, and the deflection. You don't see what actually is happening that involves needing to deflect.
I mean, the only problem I see with that is that you're going to have you're not going to have a close up, so
Right,
I
it'll
don't
be
know.
more distant.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's doable. We've seen it in other things. Like, I think my ally is the Force. You've kind of got Kyle back at a distance, and then there's guys kind of creeping up on him. I think.
I don't know. There's Yoda You Seek Yoda, where Yoda is like literally a millimeter tall on the card.
But that art does look really cool, though. I mean, I think it works. I think they can put a lot more onto the cards. I think a lot of stuff has been a little basic. But I think basic really does work. I mean, I think Tony Foti has like nailed, the basic Star Wars look. I think Tony Foti should be doing all of the art for all of the mains. Like,
I would not complain.
yeah, I think that should really just lock him up on that personally. But all right, final topic. It's a good thing the cast has been a little silly as it is, because this is going to be a little silly to do. Are you ready for this?
Yes. I suppose.
All right. So we're gonna not really deviate so much, but more just be a little bit sillier than we normally are. So I came up with this idea, and TGO's playing along with me. I don't even know how to explain what we're going to do. All right, so
Don't even explain. Just jump right in, man.
no, there's got to be an explanation, right?
Okay.
All right, so there's like magazines out there that have a strong like female audience, and they have like romance quizzes, or like are you doing something good enough quiz, whatever it may be. I don't know. They're always like angled really towards like parties or whatever. I don't know where I'm coming from with this, but so we decided to take a quiz out of a Cosmo magazine, and we have reworded it and structured it into a Star Wars quiz, and TGO is going to take the quiz live on the cast.
This is
And
not going to end well.
And it should be noted, TGO has no idea what these questions are.
Going in blind.
All right, so the title of the quiz, are you Sith or not? All right, so how this is going to work, there's 5 questions, and then there are 3 multiple choice answers. Now, these are mostly taken, well, they're taken directly from this quiz. We actually found a Cosmo quiz to take these out of, and they've just been reworded. So if they seem a little weird, it's because they probably weren't reworded very well. Yeah. So here we go. Are you ready for number 1?
Yes. Let's go.
You spot a rebel across the room at a party, and the evil side of your soul lights up. You, A, stay put until he chats with a mutual friend, then make your move. B, accidentally brush up against him, smile, and kill him. C, stroll right over and whisper, need another drink, while his drink is still full.
So A was wait till he talks to a mutual friend, then go over there and kill him.
Then make
Or was
your
that
move.
B?
Yeah. No, make it. B was accidentally brush up against him, smile, and then kill him.
I'm going with B.
Okay, B. All right, accidentally kill him. All right, or smile and then kill him, not accidentally. Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, After spending the evening deep in battle with the Jedi, you end up A, leaning in first to give them a quick goodnight smack on the cheek. B, pulling him into the Sith library for a steamy Force lightning session. C, waiting for him to mind trick you, then sending him in an apparition after you part ways.
Okay, so A was what again?
Leaning in first to give him a quick goodnight smack on the cheek.
And then B was take him into the Sith library for some Force
A
lightning.
steamy Force lightning session.
I'm going with B.
All right, B it is. All right, it's pretty good. All right, number 3. Most of the Jedi you fought would probably best describe you as A, the closest they'll ever come to Emperor Palpatine. B, the craziest Sith they've ever been in battle with. Or C, the kind of Sith they try to convert to the light side.
What was A again? The closest they'll ever get to Palpatine?
The closest you'll ever come to Emperor Palpatine. B, the craziest Sith they've ever been in battle with. And C, the kind of Sith they try to convert to the light side.
I'm going with B.
B, all right. Number 4, your most recent evil plan ended, and now you're in dire need of a night out. You prepare by A, dusting off your robe and polishing your lightsaber. B, slipping into a tunic and listening to the modal nodes. That's the band from the cantina.
Yeah.
All right. And then C, sulking.
Sulking, or slipping into a tunic and listening to the model nodes, or what was A?
Dusting off your robe and polishing your lightsaber.
I'm going with A.
A it is. All right. Number 5, final question. When it comes to being a Sith, who is your role model? Darth Vader, the strong and quiet type. Mara Jade, a deadly assassin. Or Darth Maul, a showboater.
I'm going to go A, Darth Vader.
All right. You scored 6 out of a possible 10.
I'm just moderately Sith.
Just moderately Sith.
Darn it!
All right, so we had a couple big announcements we were going to cover real quick, and then we'll live, because I haven't even looked at these spoilers yet. So
I've got them brought up.
No, I've got them brought up too, but I haven't looked at them. I don't know what any of them do.
Yeah.
So we'll jump over those in just a minute. So
yeah.
All right. So first, if you don't mind me, real quick, I just want to throw out a big thank you to all the people that have made a donation. It has been crazier than we could have ever expected. We will probably be shutting that down soon. Just so people know, if you haven't made a donation, you're wanting to. And I'm not saying this, to raise up things, but the sooner the better. I'm not sure how many more days we'll have it going. So just want to throw it out there. We had a goal in mind, and we're actually close to it. So second, next, do you want to cover the big one?
No. You're on a roll. We'll let you keep going.
You're
on a roll. Keep on going, man.
All right. Next week, as people know, it's going to be a bit of a special cast. We will not be live at 3:30. We will. Have we decided? Or are we going to do it before or after dinner?
My
vote would be after, but I don't think we've decided.
I mean, that would mean we're doing it around like 10 o'clock at night.
Would it really? Like, what time are you planning on getting to Gen Con?
Well, no, I was making a joke there about your... Never mind. No, I'm not sure what time I'm going to get down there just yet.
Like, I was assuming you're not going to roll in until around 5 or 6-ish.
Let's see, I'm trying to leave... Yeah, I'll probably be in town around 5, 6 o'clock. I'm going to leave work early, but I've still got to get... I've still got to talk with David and see what his schedule's like.
Right. Okay.
And work things out with him.
It will most likely be sometime around I would say like 6:30 or 8 o'clock. One of those two times would be my
Yeah.
guess. It just kind of depends on when we can all get situated. We will not have 10 topics next week. We will probably just have some talking points. We
may
plan
or
on
may
going,
not
I
have-
would say, for at least an hour, right?
We may or may not have 10 guests, so
Yeah, that's the other thing is we are going to have a big group of people that will be joining us all for the cast. So it will not be just TGO and myself. There will be invites are going out this week, and we're gonna try and get people lined up to have just like a big major chat discussion. Like I said, we'll have some talking points. We'll probably go for about an hour or so, and yeah. So
I say we do it before dinner, and then we go out and have dinner.
okay. I thought if we did dinner first, people might be a bit more like kind of livened up a bit for the cast, but
It's
we might
possible.
want people a bit more reserved. So, do you want to cover the next big announcement?
No. I'll let you.
Next week is going to be today's episode 15. Next week is going to be episode 16. With episode 16, after that, the Living Force cast is ending. I guess we could call it our first season, and we will not be back for a bit. It won't. It'll be a bit awkward. We can say that we will have spoilers for Between the Shadows, and we'll be taking a few weeks off of the cast. The main reason here is that after Gen Con ends, there's just not going to be a whole lot of material for us to be able to go and talk about things every week. So we want to take some time off, and that way we can kind of build up some material.
And
We're going to come
to
back
be fair, we've done next week will be 16 weeks straight.
straight. Yep, four
4
straight
months.
Yep.
You know, and every week. I mean,
Every week
put
of
a
an
lot
hour and a half content.
Yeah, I mean, we put a lot of work in.
Yeah.
Some more than others, obviously, because Matt does Flip does the video portion, the images. So, but I mean, we do put a lot of work in. And
Yeah, for sure. But it's not necessarily just a complete break for us, right?
Right.
We're doing it because we're just not going to have enough to fill up the next 4 weeks.
Right.
Of
The time from Gen Con until Worlds is going to be
a bit quiet.
a bit of a dead zone because there's not going to be any events, so we won't have any results to look over. It's just people are probably going to go quiet because they're going to prep for World. So just the amount of information is not going to be available.
So I think the plan right now is we're going to be taking 4 weeks off during September, and we'll be taking just a couple weeks off of August, but either close to the end of August or at the beginning of September. We're not sure which just yet. We will come back for a special episode, and
With
we
our
will
s-
have spoilers for Between the Shadows that you can't get anywhere else.
Yep.
And then I
what
think
we were planning on doing another show when the box set releases,
yes,
correct?
for the box set specifically, so we could just spend the entire time talking about the box set once
Yeah.
it releases. So there's going to be about 8 weeks or so where we're only going to be around twice.
Yep.
And again, the sole reason for that is just there isn't going to be as much stuff to discuss. We want to take some time off, build up some stuff to discuss, and then our plan is to come back at the beginning of October and be able to go straight to Worlds.
Yeah.
With lots of conversation, lots of things to discuss. But we kind of felt like if we took some time off, it gives us a little bit of a break, and it lets us have some other stuff to kind of work up and then have enough coverage leading to Worlds.
Yeah.
So our season is ending next week. Next week will be the final episode of the season, which is kind of cool because we get to kind of go out with a bang because we're going to have so many big guests and celebrities, if you will, on the cast. So I think that's really, really cool. And then we will start the next season-ish kind of thing. We haven't actually named what we're calling this, I guess. But
Season 2, The Return of TGO.
from the looks of it, especially with this pack that we're about to discuss, it looks like, immediately following Between the Shadows, we're going to segue right into new packs. So we'll definitely have stuff to discuss every week. You know.
Next week can be a fun season finale. There better be a cliffhanger.
All right. So for the last part of the episode, then we just wanted to go over the pack that just dropped. You want to cover that?
Yeah.
I'll let you kick off. What's it called?
It is called Draw Their Fire.
And I just got to tell you, that art is awesome.
Yeah.
I actually know the artist that made that art, and I saw that artist discuss that art about a month ago, and I had a sinking feeling, in a good way, that art was going to make an appearance in our game, and I'm thrilled that it popped up.
It's pretty good.
Yeah,
that
I love that
reminds
art.
me, one of the things that I want to see is I want to see a Death Star unit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, the next force pack, Draw Their Fire. Got a nice little card fan. So we're getting a new Y-wing. Can't see much of it.
Yeah, Gray Squadron Y-Wing, costs 3, health of 2, has a blast icon, 1 force icon. That's about all we see.
Yeah.
I can see this unit something. It looks like a CO, so it almost looks like this unit counts.
Yeah.
But,
You get a very vanilla Black Squadron fighter, 2 for 2, but it's got a black blast, so it's kind of like the opposite of what Darkside vanilla units have been.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting. It's like the opposite of a quaddy security team in that regard.
Yeah.
But what's kind of cool is it's a vehicle fighter and Black Squadron.
Yeah. So it's looking like Rogue Squadron is like the light side rebel thing, and maybe Black Squadron, or even 181st was Baron fell. So maybe those are the Navy.
I don't know. I mean, the spread here looks pretty distinct. You know, Black Squadron fighter, Gray Squadron Y-Wing. I have to imagine they chose that spread on purpose, right?
Yeah, I don't know what Gray. I'm not familiar with Gray Squadron, so.
David says this unit costs what? Which unit? The Black Squadron? It's basically a quaddy security team only as a Black Squadron.
Yeah, it's 2 costs.
Yeah, 2 costs, 2 health.
And the Y-Wing is 3 costs, 2 health, with a black blast and whatever else it has.
Yeah.
And then we got advanced concussion missiles, Sheehan training, which we can't see. Then we see the new Fate card. I don't know if was that spoiled in.
Yeah, it was on the last one too.
Okay.
It might have been a dark side version, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if this is the light side version or not.
So the name of the this is gonna show up weird. Hold on one sec. Let me see if I can work with the screen a little bit here. Oops. Alright. Let's turn that off. I can kill that. And so the objective set, the Daring Escape.
Yeah. It looks like the Falcon flying out of the cantina, but it's the Outrider.
I think it's supposed to be Outrider, right?
Well, yeah, it is the Outrider, but I mean, it's like the artist took the scene from the movie with the Falcon jetting out and the stormtrooper is shooting at it and just replaced it with the Outrider. I mean, I think it's a cool picture. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, that's just what it feels like to me. Is like that should have been the Falcon, but it's the Outrider.
Oh, David, I see what you're saying. So David, real quick, he was talking about the Gray Squadron, and he said the CO might have been something else. I get what you're saying. Yeah, there could be a cost. This unit costs something. It's a 3-2, so you might be right that it might be a cost issue, like cost 1 less or something. Sorry to interrupt you. But so this is another 2-5.
Yep. It's Tatooine. It's Tatooine, so you can protect it with your moisture farmers.
But do you think that smugglers needed
another 5-2?
Yeah.
Probably not, but it's another smuggler objective that doesn't do anything, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Next card?
Yeah, I'm trying to pull some up here for the cast to see. I don't know how good they can see the stuff.
I don't even see it on the screen. So.
It hasn't gotten there because of the delay.
Okay.
Let's see here.
So the next card, oh, there it is. It's going in the chat box.
Yeah. So we get Lebo.
Lebo.
2/2, 2 force icons, a unit damage, and an edge tactics.
Yep. Into health.
Yeah, pilot 2. So you can play him as a dude or as a pilot.
Yeah.
And he has a reaction that looks like it's associated with the. We haven't seen a reaction in parentheses before.
Well, that's the pilot text.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yes.
Did they explain that in the article?
Maybe not. Don't know. Didn't read it. But I'm assuming that's the pilot text. Awkward.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, I don't see anywhere where it says that that's how that works.
Yeah.
But I didn't skim the article very well last time, so maybe I'm missing that here too.
But the reaction says, after enhanced unit resolves a strike, remove it from the engagement. So, I mean, that makes sense that it's pilot text.
Yeah.
Because the pilot, when you're doing a pilot, it's an enhancement on a unit.
Right.
So, while he's there, you get to strike, and then you remove it from the engagement. That seems ridiculous.
Doesn't seem that good to me. But
It doesn't?
no.
Ugh. You get to strike and then leave, and then all their dudes. It's like Lando pulling a dude out. But
Yeah.
this is like you get to strike and then you get to pull out.
But I haven't looked at this Outrider yet, so let's look at the Outrider.
So the Outrider costs 3, has 3 force icons, and has 3 health. A black unit damage, a black objective damage, and a edge-enabled objective damage. It's a vehicle and a transport. And it says, action during an engagement. Focus a pilot card attached to this unit to have this unit participate in an engagement on your side. So you get to pick and choose when the Outrider comes in.
It's interesting.
So you win that edge battle, you can be like, all right, I'm throwing the Outrider in too. If he's got Lebo on him, he can hit and then run.
Yeah. What was Lebo's text again? Resolves a strike, remove it.
Yeah.
That's interesting, little combo. I mean, it's definitely, I like it better than the stuff we saw in the first pack, honestly, but I'm still having a hard time getting excited for this. So.
You're just a party pooper. So I guess this would be the 4th card. 4th card is Spacer Cantina. It's a 2-cost enhancement that gives us 1 resource. With the text that says, reduce the cost and the pilot cost of the first pilot card you play each turn by 1.
Didn't we see something like this in the last pack? Or am I crazy?
I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
I mean, this does seem like something that everybody would get, but I mean, like we had the force resources, but I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's an enabler for the pilots to make them cheaper, and it doesn't say it, to a minimum of 1. So if you've got a 1-cost pilot, it's free, and the text looks like it stacks. So if you've got 2 of these out, 2-cost pilot for free.
Reduce the cost and the pilot cost of the first pilot card you play. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it's like Emperor's Web.
No,
How that reduces the cost of the first event by 1.
it's interesting to me in the sense of like, it's not gonna matter too much if the pilot's not great, I guess. But I don't know. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't expect anybody to text me. Good lord. All right.
Then we have Punch It.
Yeah.
It's 0-cost let's try this a 3rd time. Event. When a friendly vehicle unit is targeted by an enemy card effect, your opponent must choose a different eligible target instead, if able. We've seen this before, right?
We saw Smokey who says, or not Smokey, Skull Eater says he thinks it's amazing. Why do you think that's amazing? Is there an event that's really bad? That
Narrow
vehicles-
Escape is just the same thing.
Yeah, but it costs 2, right? This seems way better since it's free.
Yeah, but
And it's
Even
enemy
if-
card effect, right? So that can be a reaction ability. So sleuths now have an answer to Force Choke?
yeah, but if there's no other eligible target, well, no, like Force Choke, it's just Vader's reaction. So I wouldn't say
Yeah,
it's an
but-
answer to Force. I don't know.
Yes, I said reaction and then I said to Force Choke. So I was not being as clear as I should have been.
I mean, if you don't have another eligible target, you still get hit. And that was the whole problem with like Narrow Escape. Like if it could, I don't know. Well, I guess there's heat. Okay, heat of battle, seeds, echoes. Yeah, so I guess fake cards do that too. Would work. But again, if there's no eligible target for seeds, your unit still gets hit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find the Seeds of Decay real quick so I can read it. You may place one focus token on a target ready unit. Well, no, I guess if they seeds you and one of their dudes is ready, they have to seeds their own guy because it is still considered an eligible target, right?
So Skull Eater says with magic, redirects are good.
Or you can ignore me.
No, I wasn't directly ignoring you. I thought you were addressing the chat. I'm sorry. Say it again.
Well, if somebody plays the Seeds of Decay and you play Punch It, and your unit that you've only got one unit committed to the Force.
Yeah.
They've got 2 units committed to the Force that are ready, or even 1 unit, we'll say. You can play Punch It, and they have to Seeds their own guy. That seems correct. 'Cause they're an
Raphael says
eligible
that
target.
May. Seed says May, but I still think they're choosing it, and then you choose to redirect it. That you get the choice of the redirect.
No. If they've already chosen to put a Seeds out
Right,
or place
then
the
the-
focus,
right,
they
I'm
have
agreeing.
to choose a new target.
Right. I'm agreeing everything you're saying. That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was saying.
But if they play a Seeds and they haven't like declared anything yet, and you get all excited and you play, oh, I'm gonna Punch It, and they haven't like said I'm gonna Seeds your guy, well then they can just say I'm not seeding now.
Yeah. It seems fine. To me that's a set of like I really need to see pilot stuff in action because there's just too much. The 2 main cards are combo off of each other. The Fate card is strictly for pilots. The reaction ability or the interrupt ability seems perfectly fine if vehicles are a thing, you know. That's my way of saying this set seems really good if vehicles and pilots end up being really good.
But I mean, Outrider on its own seems pretty good. I mean,
I'm not impressed by it.
Really? I think it's a fine card. I mean, it's got Blast, 2 Blast.
Yeah. I mean, I just can't see myself playing this over like the Falcon.
Well, but this isn't really competing with the Falcon.
It might be for a card slot in my deck if I want to win a game.
I mean, like if you're looking at your stuff and you're like, well, I got a Falcon.
All right, I'll put it this way. To me, this is Cole Sarah all over again.
But you played Colsera at Worlds.
I
He's
did,
gotta
but
be
only
good.
because I was playing Wilderness Fighters. But
He's gotta
like
be
in all
good.
honesty, if you look at this card and this set, like this reminds me totally of Cole Sarah again, where it's this set that like if you're going to do these things are good to do with this set. But if you're not playing a deck that is going to do these things, there are way better things to play.
Yeah, I mean, if you're comparing this to Falcon, yeah, Falcon is superior.
Well, I mean, in most cases, deck builders only have 5 slots.
Right.
And again, that's why I said I'd like to see where the pilots and the ships kind of, play a part, I guess. And to me, I haven't seen anything that says, "Oh yeah, pilots and ships are going to be awesome." To me, I just keep seeing stuff that goes, "Well, if pilots and ships are awesome, then this stuff will be pretty good." But I haven't seen anything that makes pilots and ships awesome.
But we've only seen 2 sets, so
Right, we've seen 1/3 of the entire cycle. No, that's not true. We've had 1/3 of the packs discussed. We've only seen a fraction, a very much smaller fraction of the cards.
So
But,
there's
I mean,
6
this, again-
packs, 5 sets in each pack, roughly.
Right.
You know, so
Is
30.
it 5? Do we know
We've
if it's
seen.
5?
Well, I'm saying like Echoes was 5. So you got to figure we're going to get 30 sets
At least. So we've
at
seen...
least. So
yeah.
we've seen 1/15th of it.
Right.
So I
I
mean,
told you I was wrong. I wasn't denying I misslipped.
well, no, I'm not
with
trying to
what I
show
was
that
trying to
you're.
say.
I'm not trying to show that your math skills are subpar or anything
Right.
like that. But I mean,
Well,
I'm
and
just saying
outside
we've not seen enough of this set to make a legitimate argument one way or the other that vehicles and pilots will be bad
right.
or
What-
good.
What I kind of want to follow all that up with, though, is that, like, FFG outside of box sets isn't notorious for releasing the big stuff in their spoilers. Like, Mara is the only thing. I guess Mara and Kyle are the only 2 things I can really think of that they. I mean, freeloaders were a much bigger deal.
I don't know what you're talking about. They revealed the reserve troopers, and those guys are amazing.
The Dash was a big deal. Yoda was a huge deal. They ended up spoiling Yoda, right? But
No.
it
That was
Yeah.
posted by Brimstorm.
was spoiled by Brimstone, but they still.
Oh yeah, that was their release. That was their
Yes.
release.
Yeah.
But I mean, why are you showing the best card from that, or the best set in that pack, in your final release article? Like, shouldn't you have done that to begin with to build anticipation and excitement?
Okay, well, I'm just saying if what you're saying is what FFG should be doing, then they're utterly failing, in my opinion, with Rogue Squadron.
I'm not saying they're failing or not, but I'm just saying if you would think you'd want to show your, the big
They
name.
do that with box sets. I mean, we saw Obi. What did they spoil from Balance? I can't even remember.
Yeah, it's been so long. I don't even know.
Was it the Tranoceans?
Don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I mean, at least between the shadows, they showed us Boba Fett.
If I recall correctly, I think with Edge of Darkness they showed us Falcon and Chewie. Well, I know they showed us Chewie. That was the first one.
Yeah.
So their box sets they do that with. It seems like their force packs, it's a little bit of a different structure. So I'm hoping there's stuff out there that gets me more excited to play it. The stuff I look at now, I mean, Baron Fell is a much better Navy card than other Navy cards we have, but that doesn't really mean that it's going to have a home in my deck per se. But I'm not excited by Outrider. If pilots and ships end up being awesome, then that's awesome. David says, I hope they are failing, but I don't know what that means. I've lost my TGO.
No, I'm still here.
Okay.
Was it starting to get loud again?
No, I just didn't hear anything you're saying.
Because I wasn't saying anything.
That's the point. I don't know. I think the winter kit last week was much more exciting than this for me.
I always like announcements of new stuff, so I mean, I'm
This is
pretty
true.
excited about this.
This is true. I don't mean to be super negative or something. It's cool that we're getting an Outrider. It's cool that Lebo and the Outrider combo together. I think that's really neat. Nothing about what they showed me makes me excited to put them into a deck, but that doesn't mean that the cycle's bad. It just means we haven't seen the exciting. I haven't seen the stuff that would excite me yet. So.
I mean, if this would have been the follow-up to Hoth Cycle, do you think your excitement would be you would have a little more excitement, or because this is following up Echoes, which has been a great cycle, do you just think the bar was set so high that maybe that's why you're less than excited?
I don't even know if it's the cycle. I think the as much fun as I've had with most of Echoes, I think for me it's between the sheets that that I'm like, give me those cards now. Boba Fett looks ridiculous.
He does. I love the art on Boba Fett.
To me, I guess that's my mental block right now. Is I'm kind of ready for Echoes to be done. It seems to kind of be going out with a whimper, and
Really?
yeah, really. I think
Well, no, yeah, because we had. I mean, it
we've
started
seen
with
3 spoilers, right? And I think they're
Yeah.
all very meh.
Yeah, like the cycle started out like okay with Heroes and Legends, but then like the next 3 packs were just like, what the heck?
Yeah,
Because we got Dash and Mara, and then we had the silliness that was Dash Freeholders,
yeah.
and then we got Gamor Run, then we got Yoda, and now we're like, I don't even remember what's in this next set.
Like
So-
I haven't regretted buying any of the first 5 packs, like at all. Like in fact, I've bought 3 of each. But
What?
like, yeah, because there's 2 of us that play, and then we get an extra set for playtesting.
You've got a sickness, man. Sickness.
No,
I can understand the 2, but
I play a lot.
anyway.
I've currently
Anyway.
got 5 decks for Darkside built, and 6 I think for Lightside. So
Yeah.
it's not just that it's just. I mean, a lot of it's playtesting, but we also try to do a lot with the local player base to get people to play. So having a lot of variety of deck lists is really good. So, but yeah, so this pack, I mean, I can guarantee you I'm not gonna buy a third of this pack of the last of the 4th cycle.
So what have we seen so far? We've seen the Navy set.
Navy, Jedi, and Smuggler.
Oh yeah. Top tier did the Rash Action set,
Yeah,
and Ferris Olin was spoiled on FFG.
yeah,
So we're waiting for Team Covenant to spoil their set.
yeah.
I mean, assuming they've got a set. They've had 5 other.
No, I think that document confirmed. Like, I think we've seen enough stuff that we know that it's only the 2 light side, right?
Two. What do you mean? What are you saying?
That there's only 2 light side sets and 3 dark side sets.
Yeah, I mean, you can just do the math and know that that's
Right. There's that document, that Google Docs out there that has like all the data on it or whatever.
Yeah,
I think it's
smugglers have 5 sets, rebels have 5 sets, and
Yeah.
Jedi have 5 sets spoiled, and everybody else has 4 except for the Navy set that
yeah.
was spoiled.
Anyway,
So we know we're waiting on Sith and Scum.
so I don't know. To me, it seems like a pack that is not gonna see much play outside of 3PO.
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously things are gonna change again, in September. So, but yeah, that's what I mean. You asked why I'm not excited about Rogues and Rogue Squadron. I just don't like goofy mechanics. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand some people won't like this because there's the card advantage, that you lose Outrider with a Lebo or whatever ship with a pilot. You're getting 2 for 1. I can understand why people, don't like it because of that. But
Yeah,
I mean, I like it because it's a fun, it's a fun thing. Whether or not I play a whole lot of it is a whole other story. But I mean, I enjoy the idea of it.
I mean, I'm just being reserved about it. Like I've said numerous times, like I'm reserving my opinion because I've got to see how it all interacts. Right now, I can't see how it would interact in a great way, but that doesn't mean anything. Like they've only shown us, as you said, 2 of 30. So, for me, what they've shown, they haven't shown me as a player anything that I'm like can't wait to get my hands on. I personally, I don't really think Echoes was that great of a cycle. Like I think the power creep was fantastic, but personally, I think the power creep was too much. I hope that Between the Sheets will do a good job of balancing out the power creep. But I think there's a high potential of Rogue Squadron to kind of fail because it's going to counteract the power creep, and I just don't think it's going to match up very well personally. But again, that's just based on the 2 sets that they've shown. My opinion means nothing. I'm aware.
You're going Nostradamus on us?
Right. Like I don't know what's coming, so I can't be negative. I can only be negative on what I know, and that's just simply to say I don't see why I would put the Outrider in the deck that I would currently play.
Right. No, that's a fair statement.
Right. But I mean, I think all that's going to change. I hope all that's going to change. My any sort of negativity or disappointment I'm having is strictly because what they've shown for me just hasn't been exciting. And I want to get excited about it. I want there to be some really cool stuff. I mean, it's a pilot and ship cycle. There's so much opportunity for really cool stuff. And I mean, FFG has given us some really cool stuff. So I have to assume it's there. We just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. And it's not like this whole cycle is going to be 100% ship and pilots. Like, they've got to mix it up. They didn't do 100% Hoth and Hoth cycle.
Right.
So we got to assume Sith is still going to be Sith, and they're going to get their crazy stuff. Jedi, yeah, they'll probably get some. You know, you got Luke, who's a good pilot. I mean, maybe like Corran Horn, he was a good pilot, right? Maybe they get Corran Horn.
Well, I mean, what they've shown us so far is that they're hitting up the extended universe. But so to me, my natural
Corran
assumption
Horn was an extended universe pilot with Rogue Squadron, right? Or
Yeah,
was he somebody else and something else?
I just know him as a smuggler. That's all I know of him.
He's a Corran Horn. He's a Jedi.
Okay. I don't know anything then.
He becomes a Jedi later on.
No, okay.
Well, at least in the old extended universe.
So for me, it's interesting that like they led with Imperial and they didn't follow with Rebel. Like following with Smuggler to me is really interesting. Like I'm very curious if there's more Smuggler sets. Or if maybe like each set or each affiliation is going to get like the big to do, and then everybody else, you know, will get normal stuff, I guess. But I don't know. I'm really curious to see how the cycle plays out. I have no idea what's coming. I hope there's some really neat stuff. What I've seen so far isn't that neat to me, but that's just me.
You're a party pooper.
But I'm not trying to be. I mean, I cannot tell you guys. Like, we've only seen like a handful of cards from Between the Sheets. And I'll tell you guys right now, I am so excited about that. Like, if you want to turn around from being negative, let's talk about Between the Sheets, because that stuff looks amazing.
I would love to talk about Between the Sheets, but they haven't showed us anything yet. Outside of outside of the initial announcement, they haven't showed us anything else.
But we're going to be here in a couple weeks with the big announcement of spoilers.
Yeah, well, that's
Can't
in
wait.
a couple weeks.
Yeah, no, I mean, based on what they showed, like, and I think that's what's so clutch to spoiling, right? They spoiled some really good stuff from Between the Shadows. So I'm excited.
You called it by its real name.
I did, because in my head I have to believe that there's more good stuff, right? Like, because I want there to be. But with Rogue Squadron, they haven't shown me good stuff. So for me, it's a bit harder to be super excited. And I more just have to, you know, believe that there's more good stuff.
Just wait until we get our Imperial
Or
Palpatine
good
in this set, who's a pilot. Just wait.
So I'm just saying, like, in terms of marketing, you want to get me excited, show me some really good stuff. And if this is their idea of really good stuff, then I'm probably not going to be all that excited about Rogue Squadron. But, again, I'm reserving total judgment. I'm just saying what I've seen so far it's not really for me or my play style or what I enjoy about the game.
All right, so we beat that dead horse long enough.
I mean, do you think combo will be healthy for the game? Because we already saw a little bit of it, and that didn't turn out very well.
That ended poorly.
Yeah.
Like, to me, like, I would love to see combo with, like, Leia. Like, I just keep waiting for something with Leia to pop up. Like Rebel Leia.
Here's a question. Does rash action work on pilots?
What's the wording on rash action, though?
I mean, you're going to do that to me, really? I have no idea.
If you're going to ask me the question, you got to give me the wording.
I don't know, man. I don't know the wording.
I believe it says a unit. And when you're playing a pilot, they're as an enhancement.
Is it?
So
Okay.
if rash action says the increase the cost of the next, but I mean, if you're playing rash action on a pilot, all they're going to do is bring it in play with a focus anyway, right?
Yeah, that's
because
very true.
It doesn't matter if your
Doesn't do
pilot is
anything.
focused.
Yeah.
Unless like your pilot is like a wedge type ability.
Right, that's what I was going to say. We don't know that there's other abilities out there. So I just wasn't sure like if there was a, but I think you're right. Like from my understanding of my horrible skimming of their articles, it would seem that they are just enhancements. So, but rash action could be very, very good counter to some pilot shenanigans. Because if you've got the combo, and you're all ready to do it, and then they rash action your ship.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario, it comes in focused, and you just gotta wait a turn.
Hey man, you were the one telling me rash action was broken.
I don't think broken came out of my mouth.
All right. Well, anyway, you got anything else you want to say?
No.
Anything else you want to cover?
No. I think we've rambled long enough.
All right. Well, next week will be really interesting. Again, it's only going to be about an hour-ish. Well, I might go over. I mean, there's going to be a bunch of us, so we might have a bunch of nonsense to say. I don't know.
I find it hard to believe that we can limit your rambling to only an hour, but we will try.
I don't ramble when we're doing interviews, though. When there's other people, like it's very focused.
Yeah. You let them ramble.
I only ramble when it's the two of us because you are not known for your chatty Cathiness.
That is true.
Yeah. All right. So until next week, guys, please join us. We will post. When will we know what time? Probably we'll know next week sometime, I guess.
Yeah.
We'll send out, if you follow us on the Twitch, you'll obviously get the message as soon as we go live. Subscribe to the Flip the Force on Twitter and TGO on Twitter, and you'll get posts from us too when we go live. And keep an eye on the forums as well. We'll make an announcement on what time it'll be for sure. But there's lots of us to round up, so it'll be a little bit tricky.
If they're not there, they're not there. They miss out on all the fun.
Exactly.
I'm talking about our guests, by the way.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. TGO, you guys send off for anything?
Bye.
The man of many words. All right. Thanks again, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Later.